I got to photograph a tea party in the UK, and watch how fast I'm able to edit these. This was a wedding that I got to attend, but just for fun, because, well, I wanted to make my UK trip to go to a friend's wedding tax deductible, I offered to photograph the tea party the next day. It was so much fun being present for the wedding, but for the tea party, I was able to capture all of the beauty of this gorgeous manor in Wales. It was absolutely stunning, and I'm just so happy I was able to capture this. I recently got a Loupedeck, which is pretty epic, and I'm just, in general, big on keyboard shortcuts. Whenever I'm editing, I'm using keyboard shortcuts and my mouse, and I've been really excited to try this piece of equipment out because I think it's going to make my editing time so much faster. These are some of my favorite photos from the tea party. You will find me in there somewhere. There we go. There's me and my fam. Obviously, I did not take this photo, but what I wanted to do is just see how fast I can edit here. Now, the nice thing about Loupedeck is you get to program everything on here, and there's like menus upon menus. There's so much customization available, particularly when you're working with Lightroom. Of course, you don't just use Loupedeck with Lightroom. You can use it for so many different applications. Use it on your desktop, Photoshop, Final Cut, Premiere Pro. It's kind of endless. If you just go to their website, they'll show you all the different types of programs that you can use Loupedeck with. But for me, I was really excited for probably the dumbest, simplest thing, and that was applying my presets. Because anytime I would apply a preset beforehand, I'd be coming over here, going to all my presets that I have over here on the left, and it's just not keyboard shortcut intuitive. So it was a lot of fun to be able to just assign all of my buttons keyboard shortcuts. And then of course I have one of the main buttons, which is reset all adjustments. And then I go through and I have my different settings that I love, like my Joyfully Simple, Wedding Shoes is a favorite of mine, and then a couple of different black and whites. And then I also have enhance portrait. So this is basically using AI to make the photo look even better. And then just with a click, only using my left hand, being able to reset. So I'm actually going to go ahead to the black and white one here. And then I have my dials set up for the things that would normally go into the basic exposure. So I'm going here, my basic exposure, I've got my blacks, I've got my temperature up or down, and of course my highlights. The things I really play with a lot. And now, you know, it's really just muscle memory going through all of these dials. So pretty simple, but let's get to some of these fun photos. Creating a virtual copy instead of me right-clicking is really easy. I've just assigned the button to number 2. So this way I can just hit my Joyfully preset, and then I've got my virtual copy, and then I'm gonna throw the other one into black and white, which is pretty epic. And I do that a lot. And usually it's a little bit complicated, but now it's just 2, and now we've got our black and white. I almost feel more creative editing this way instead of going through with my mouse, because so many of the different nuances when it comes to editing, it really is just like very fine-tuned, and having these little dials that allow me to do that fine-tuning a little bit nicer than dragging with a mouse. As I make these adjustments, you can see over there on the right-hand side, all those adjustments being made. This Loupedeck Live console just has a great tactile feel, so I don't actually have to look at the screen in order to know what I'm adjusting. While it is all here and I'm able to see exactly what my dials were set to, I'd really prefer to just look at my screen and have a tactile feel as to what's going on. Now, I am using this for photo editing in Lightroom, so it's really easy to navigate through the photos, rate them, sort them by the ratings that you created, rotating, scaling the images, and then of course having different workspaces in Lightroom in order to organize the tools according to the editing flow that you want. So it's just fully customizable, but if you don't want to customize it, you can just use one of their default workspaces and it'll pretty much set you up. The biggest thing for me is the presets on the touchscreen. I just want to one-tap presets, not have to look for them. I mean, I have 4 or 5 presets that I usually use for most of these editing things that I do, and it just makes it so quick and easy to use. If you're a Photoshop user, you can pretty much do all the same things. Of course, you've got your control brush settings with dials and your ability to control quick actions like selecting objects, removing background, all of those types of things. It just gives you a new place for muscle memory. And you know, it's kind of fun that the pad here, these are touch on these, so I can like touch to different things that I need, like Safari on the desktop. And then of course you can have custom icons as well, which is pretty fun. Everything's branded here. If you're a video editor, I really think you're gonna love this for Premiere Pro or Final Cut. And it's just fast access to all of your editing tools, the ability to color grade when you're in full screen, right? So you're plopping it up here. You don't actually have to have all of the dials around. It just lets you be able to see a little bit better. I wonder if you can do that with photo. Hang on, let me plop open this. Yes, this is nice. Not bad, not bad at all. Being able to edit full screen like that with photos, that definitely looks a lot nicer. Now, I don't personally stream on Twitch, but this is really great, like a switcher with all of your main streaming controls here. You know, you can use other apps like Spotify. I'm not cool. I don't use any of those apps. This for me is just an editing tool. Makes me feel a little bit better editing. Kind of looks pretty badass. And then eventually I'm gonna have such good muscle memory on here that I'm gonna be able to edit really, really quickly. So I hope you enjoyed these. That's the doorbell. My groceries are here. I hope you enjoyed watching these photos of the tea party in Wales, and I'll see you next time.